y'all, Rev Tommy Two-Tone, coming to you to just give you a little update about what I have been doing in the past couple of months. Taking up a new hobby, and I don't know, people that know me know that I like hobbies. I like doing things. I like learning new things. Next month in February, I'll be 60 years old, and I think that to keep myself feeling young and to keep my mind active, that I take on new things. And one of the new things I took on this year was wood carving. Now let me tell you how it came about. I was looking at my Dremel tool thinking, you know, I rarely get to use it, and it's a nice tool, and I wonder what I could do with it. So I just went on YouTube and typed in things to do with a Dremel tool, and power carving came up. I watched this guy carve a wood spirit, and he happened to have a piece of wood that had been cut on the diagonal long ways, or split, or I guess you could say ripped on the diagonal. And it was about, I think it was probably a 2x2 that he split. And I knew I had some scrap wood like that, so I got my Dremel down and I watched him because he did a step-by-step. And I realized then, I thought, well, maybe I have kind of a talent for this, because this was my first ever piece that I ever did. Now, I did it step-by-step watching him. His looked a lot better. But like I said, this was my first ever piece. But also, it was my last ever piece as far as the Dremel went. Because as I got down into that YouTube rabbit hole that some of us do, and you start watching more and more videos, I started watching these guys doing wood carving with whittling. And I thought, now that would be interesting, because see, it seemed pretty easy to me to use the power tools. It was very quick, and you know, just whittled it right out. So I decided I wanted to try to whittle. So I bought myself a cheap set of carving knives, sharpened them up. They're still not that good. They're pretty cheap, and they don't carve that well, but it was a start. And so I carved a snowman. And I watched a YouTube video once again, and this is the first ever I did. Now, it is a little bit sophomoric. The wood wasn't perfectly square, so I didn't get the round effect I wanted. It's the first time I ever tried to do the round. I'm not particularly, let's see, get it to focus. I'm not particularly fond of the face. However, I am kind of proud of the hat the first time I ever did that. Now, I'll say this, I didn't have paint. So the scarf, even though it's carved on not as well as it should be, I used Sharpies to paint this snowman. So, and I was going to redo it. My wife was like, no, it's the first one you ever did. Leave it like that and let it be. It'll serve as a reminder. And so it was a perfectly square piece of wood, and I actually rounded it off with a knife. And so this one I finished on 12/12 of 18, which was December 18th. So that was my first one. The second one I did was a little bit more complicated, and I watched someone carve it, and it's a man named Gene Messer, and he's almost like watching the Bob Ross of wood carvers, because he's very calming and he's very patient. Now, mine's not near as good as his either. I don't have the symmetry that he does, but this is a Santa, and once again, I painted it with Sharpies. But this is a Santa going down a chimney. And I'm kind of proud of my chimney work on this one. And if we see it in person, it really looks pretty good, because it's actually carved in there, those brick. I don't know if you can see it well on camera. But that's my second carving. It actually hung on the tree this year. And so I was proud of that. It's still sophomoric and elementary looking, but once again, it was only the second piece I ever did. The third piece I ever did turned out a lot better. However, I kind of ruined it trying to antique it. I wasn't good with the antique medium, but I left it like it is, and this is my third piece. It was a block of wood as well, and I kind of just saw something and drew it out, and the hat turned out kind of well. It would have turned out better, but I broke the brim, so it didn't come out as wide as it should have, but I continued with it. That's just a piece of a toothpick. Rosie calls this one Pinocchio Snow because of the big nose. I could cut it shorter. And I did actually use paint on this one. So it's the first time I've ever used paint on one, and that was it. Then I actually got a book on YouTube. and about making Christmas ornaments because it was getting near Christmas. And the first one and the easiest one looked like what was called an icicle snowman. And so I carved it out of a straight block piece of wood, and this is it. And then put another piece of very long toothpick for the nose. Put a little eye bolt in the top of it. It also hung from the tree. And that was my first pretty nice one. I was really proud of it. It looked a lot better. But once again, and I got the circles. Once again, see, these balls are kind of hard because it was a block of wood. And I was kind of proud of that. So, and still am, to be honest with you. So there was that one. And then I decided I wanted to try to do, in the wood spirit fashion, a face by hand, but make it a Santa Claus. And so I watched one, and I did it. And not only that, I painted it with some flesh tones and mixed some paint, not use solid white. And then I scooped out some of the brim of the hat with a gouge. I'm really proud of this one now. It could have been done a little bit smoother and cleaner as well, but I'm learning. But this one I did antique, and this is it. This one is probably my best one. I don't know. Maybe so. But this is it. Did out of a block of wood. And the date on it is, that I finished it was, well, I don't know. Oh, 1/19, okay. So I finished it on January the 19th. No, actually in January of, it's not even January 19th. It was 20, yeah it is. I finished it on the, early January, but that's that one. And then I decided I wanted to do another, I had a piece of wood still and I'm using, by the way, basswood, except for the one I power carved. This one was that's pine, but all the rest are basswood. Then I decided I had another piece of that long square wood to do another icicle snowman, but I didn't make him quite as skinny as the last one. Oops. But he's round and a little bit cleaner. Oops, and I just broke his nose. So we'll put that back in. It just glues right in the hole. I can actually stick it in. There you go. So it's a little rounder and a little bit cleaner with the carving. The ball's a little bit rounder at the top. Oops, I still dropped the nose right out. I do need to glue that back in. And that's the beauty of it. It's just a little bit of wood glue. Pop it right back in and it'll be fine. I asked my wife not to put these up for this year since it's the first year I carved them. I wanted to keep them out, look at them, maybe carve some more Christmas ornaments. When it gets closer to Christmas next year, maybe start in September so I can have quite a few more done and do. I've got some other ideas about. I'm not going to stick with the snowman thing, but that's just starting and doing it as a beginner. And so the last one I finished, and now I'm working on some more carvings, but they are not Christmas carvings. But, and they're in the very early stages. I'm working on 2 different ones. But I wanted to do one more thing. It's called a Happy Christmas Tree. And I was extremely pleased with the way it turned out, with the exception of one thing. I was carving on the mouth, and I accidentally carved the top lip off. But it still looks pretty decent, if I do say so myself, for a beginner. Like I said, I've been doing this less than 3 months. So I am a beginner. I don't know. There we go. But that's this one. I kind of put a wash on the paint so it didn't look solid. But yeah. That's my little happy tree. And that is all the carvings I've done so far. I'll keep you up to date on the other ones. Now let me say this. I'm going to give a couple of shout outs. These guys will probably never see this video. But if you want to go see somebody learn step by step how to wood carve. Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you this too. Out of the 5 cheap knives I bought, I put them up and bought 3 expensive knives comparatively. I spent $16 for 5 knives. And the knives I have now, I spent over $20 a piece for. I've got 3 of them. They're flex cut. They sharpen well, they strop and stay sharpened well, and they cut cleaner. So that was on the advice of. And I also have a set of very nice gouges and chisels. So I have really all I need, those 3 knives. One is a rough cutting knife, one is a medium knife, and one is a detail knife. I'm going to be practicing eyes and noses and ears and learn to do more and more of the figures. However, I think that the primitive whittling and wood carving is a pretty neat thing, and I'm going to keep doing it. And so I'll take you along for the ride. But the 2 shout-outs, one is Gene Messer, and the other is Doug Outside. And I mentioned Gene earlier. He sounds like the Bob Ross of wood carving. But so does Doug Outside. And now Doug Outside, and that's the name of his channel, Doug Outside does more than just wood carving. As a matter of fact, I actually, the Happy Tree I watched Doug do, and that's where I got that. And I think maybe the Santa Face from Doug. And the Gene Messer, of course, a couple of the other ones. But I believe that Doug does other videos. He does outside videos, survival videos, camping, kayaking, fire building, those kind of things. Anyway, don't want to make this video too long. Watch what happens after this, though. Birmingham has shut down part of the interstate that runs right through the center of it. Today's the actual first day it's been shut down. It'll be interesting. What is up, YouTube? It's Rev Tommy Two-Tone. Rev Tommy Two-Tone, that's me. We're driving in the south side of Birmingham, Alabama. Beautiful sunny winter day, January the 21st. Let's take a look. This is an older section of Birmingham, one of the earlier ones. There's some big old beautiful Victorian homes here. There's all kind of neat homes here, actually. This is known as the south side, on the edge and side of Red Mountain. As you can see, there's the mountain. We're on the side of the mountain. To my right is Birmingham. To my right is Birmingham, and to my left is the top of the mountain, and then over the mountain would be Homewood, where I work. We are at the moment headed west. And as I mentioned in my last video, Birmingham's about to do something what I consider pretty stupid. What they're going to do is take down the interstate that runs east and west through Birmingham. Well, actually, it's east and west and north and south. It is 2059, so part of I-20 and part of 59. If you want to go through Birmingham, you can't. You'll have to turn around, or you'll have to take a detour. Tonight at 9 p.m. is when they're shutting it down, and they're going to drop those bridges all the way through town. And it's really going to be interesting to see what happens, and how the traffic works. When I come to work at night, it's going to be interesting, because even though they're not shutting down the part I'm on, all the detours are coming that way. Oh, look, people picking up litter. How nice. I wonder if there's some kind of park club, because there is a beautiful park over here. There's a few people out. Now, it's 41 degrees, and it's 1 p.m., and we are in north central Alabama. So 41, that's actually cool for here. Very cool. It got down in the low 20s last night, which is very rare for us. It does it, maybe 3 or 4 times a winter, which makes it kind of rare in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump right on the interstate over here, and we'll take a look at some of the construction and the cranes that are actually happening downtown. I came through here at night with the video on the other day. It really doesn't do it justice. There's one area I counted 17 cranes where they're either lifting or taking down bridges. It's amazing, but there is a lot of work going on. So I don't know if that's going to work volume wise. I may have been covering the mic up. I don't know. Get over. Yeah, we'll pay attention to our driving. That'd be a good thing to do on the interstate here. Up straight ahead of us, the building, I don't know if you can see it on camera, with the red logo at the top is Children's Hospital. That's where my wife works. It's a new hospital, that one. I mean, the hospital itself is not new. That building is new, very high tech. One of the premier children's hospitals in the country. Also coming up is the Legacy Arena UAB football practice stadium, where they just practice football. They don't play there at all, but they do practice there. It is called the Legacy. It's right over here, and I think you can see it in front of the big BHM satellite. Let me see. We got to get back, move over one. I don't know if that is a police officer right there or not. Could or could not be. Don't care. Not speeding. It's not a police officer. Maybe he's speeding. Yep, there's a lot of interstate work going on through here, buddy, and through the other sections of Birmingham. This big tall bridge is I haven't been on it yet. It's brand new and just opened. Some of the things they're trying to get ready for the detours, which will be happening, like I said, tomorrow, or as early as 9 p.m. tonight, actually. So that new 261A is a new exit. This one, very tall one up here, coming up, is brand new. This is an area that's long been known as Malfunction Junction. And during rush hour, my goodness, it is Malfunction Junction without a doubt. It is, I mean, just take a look. And this is before most of the construction. Just look at the craziness all through here. Malfunction Junction. And I'm just staying on the same interstate. I'm going to go on, just stay on I-65 North. All right, not a lot of content for now. We're going to close out, and I'll get back with you in a little bit. So I just wanted to let you know what I've been up to. If you like my wood carving and you think I should keep it up, give me a like on this video, maybe a comment. And if you're new to the channel, and this is one of the first videos you've seen, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build it up this year in 2019. I want to see if I can reach 550 subscribers, which is not unruly since I have 441, so a little over 100 subscribers should be doable this year if I maintain the channel. You guys can help. Not asking for any kind of monetary support or anything. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you want to, hit that little bell as well. That way you'll be notified whenever I put a video out. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them might be a little bit boring and not your cup of tea. The beauty of YouTube, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. But I appreciate it if you do. Rev Tommy Two Tone saying God bless. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.